Hello friends and welcome to Sustainable Prepping, your home for fear-free emergency preparedness and a sustainable life. My name is Brecky and today I am taking you along on some real-life preparedness chores. I'm going to be showing you some real-life things that I do to be prepared for emergencies, from dehydrating frozen vegetables to canning chicken so it's shelf-stable and not dependent on a refrigerator or freezer, and putting some big chunks of cheese that I purchased into smaller food saver containers so that they are going to stay fresh longer. These are all small ways that I am able to prep my pantry and be prepared for an emergency where maybe the power goes out. We had the power go out a couple of weeks ago, so these are just some ways that I am prepping myself for that. I'm taking you along with me so you can see how someone does it in real life and you can get some encouragement and inspiration to do it for yourself. If you're new here, I want to say a great big welcome. I am so glad you found my little slice of the internet. And if you're not new, I want to say welcome back. We are going to be teaching preparedness from a fear-free place, from an empowered place, and I'm glad you're here to join me. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel and to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos. All right, let's go get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is getting out my my good trusty Excalibur dehydrator. It doesn't have the front. Those of you who've been around a while may remember the great fire extinguisher fiasco where my daughters exploded a fire extinguisher. I'll make sure the video is linked up above in case you're curious, but I lost the front cover. I wasn't able to salvage it. I'm going to be getting this set up and I'm going to be filling it with dehydrated vegetables. And I will make sure that the video on how to do that is linked above as well. You can dehydrate frozen vegetables. It's the easiest way because they're already blanched. It's so easy. You can do it, I promise. So I'm gonna get that done. Then I'm gonna get my food saver and food save up some cheese. And once I do that, I will be starting on some chicken. Let's go. All right, so first things first is I am taking these frozen vegetables, I'm gonna dump them on this tray, and then I'm gonna fill my dehydrator. If you, like I said, if you want the video where I go through how and why this works, I'll link it up above, but short answer is these vegetables are already blanched, which means you don't have to blanch fresh vegetables, and then you just dehydrate them, and basically once you set them, you just forget them until the time is up, and you can look at your particular dehydrator for what temperature setting and how long based on what vegetables you're using and your specific dehydrator. I have the 5-tier Excalibur. I would love to get a second one or to get a 9-tier, but for now, this is a wonderful workhorse and well worth the investment. There's a link down below to where you can look at one on Amazon if you are interested in looking at the specs. They are fantastic, well worth it, and a whole lot cheaper than a freeze dryer. So if you're just getting started, definitely worth your while. All right, so come along with me. I'm gonna get this set up and we're gonna keep on moving. Okay, so this is all that I am doing. It's nice and simple. You just put them in a single layer, put them on in there, and then I will turn this on. It's a little bit loud, so I'll wait in just a second, turn this on, and then go get my food saver to seal up some cheese. This is such an easy way if you are brand new to get started. And again, it is much cheaper than freeze dried. Now, if you're someone who has more money than you have time to even do something this simple, then you can buy dehydrated or freeze dried food online. And if you're curious, I'm happy to give you some recommendations. Some of you know that I used to be a consultant with Thrive Life. I'm not anymore because financially it's just, I couldn't afford to keep doing it. I wasn't making any money. But they do have a good product because you can buy them in the smaller pantry can size. I do still really like that. But if you are interested in buying some larger stuff, there's some different brands out there. I'm happy to do a review if you're curious. That said, you don't need to do it. you can do it just as easy. Put it in a glass jar, seal the lid, and as long as you don't see any moisture forming, you don't see any moisture on the inside of your glass jar, once these are done, you have dehydrated vegetables, and they will last for at least a year if you seal them properly. So this is project number 1. Let's move on to project number 2. Okay, I actually had to turn off the dehydrator because it was too loud when I was this close to it. I'm gonna show you how I am taking a giant chunk of cheese. This has actually already been, I've already gone through this much in about 4 days, so we eat a lot of cheese. But this is not going to be a great way to hold on to this cheese. So I'm gonna be cutting it in half, and half I am going to be putting into a Ziploc that we will use immediately, and half I'm gonna be putting into a food saver bag that will allow it to stay fresh and then will be in our fridge for when we need it. But we go through a fair amount of cheese in our family, and this was cheaper by ounce for us to purchase, but I don't want any air getting to it and ruining it before we use it all up. So that's the next thing, and then we will pan up some chicken. Let's keep going. So I actually ended up cutting into 3. This one that's just in a regular Ziploc will go in the fridge, and we will use it immediately, and it will probably, we'll go through this much in about 3, maybe 4 days, because there are 4 children, one of whom doesn't really eat meat. So this is one of the ways we get protein and fats in her. So these 2 will actually go in the fridge. They're not gonna go in the freezer, but this just allows them to be sealed in an airtight capacity so that if we do take longer to get through this, these don't go bad. So not a low waste method, I will admit, but it does allow us to preserve this for longer. And in future, I would like to get one of these big long things of cheese, these big long blocks again, and do this process and maybe cut it into quarters and put half in the freezer, half in the fridge as a way of being able to buy in bulk and really spreading out that savings. I'm gonna take you over to my counter, and we are going to now process a bunch of chicken. It's gonna be small batch canning, probably about 5, maybe 6 jars worth, and we're going to get that ready to go. All right, let's keep going. All right, friends, so this is my unofficial setup to show you a little bit of what I'm gonna be doing. I got several packages from Costco. I got 2 3-packs, but I've used one of them, so I only have 5 packages. This is probably going to yield me about 5 jars. Some of you are going to probably think, if you're experienced, why would you only do 5 jars? Why would you run your canner for only 5 jars? Because small batch canning means I can pop this all, and I'm not waiting until I have 7 pounds. I have 5 pounds, I'm gonna do my 5 pounds so I don't end up just chucking this in the freezer just to get it done. So I'm gonna take this out, chop this up into bite-sized chunks, fill my jars. My canner is beginning to warm up. This is not a how-to, so I'm not gonna walk you through all the different steps, but I will show you what I am working on. This will allow me to have hopefully 5 pints of chicken that will now live on my shelves, freeing up fridge and freezer space so that I can store other things. It's a great skill if you know canning, if you're getting into canning. It's a wonderful skill to have because it allows you to create more shelf-stable items, and I like the taste of home canned chicken 1000% better than store-bought canned chicken. I actually really dislike store canned chicken, so that's why I do my own home canning. So here is what I'm gonna do. I'll show you a little bit of it and show you as I'm getting things in the canner. Let's go. All right, y'all, so real life confession. I bought this a week ago and had planned to do this earlier and didn't get around to it. And I thought that they all had a expiration date of today. but one 3-pack had an expiration date a couple of days ago, and they smell just a little bit off. I was vegetarian for 16 years, so like I'm not familiar with how meat just smells raw, so I don't know. So I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna throw it away because it's not worth my family getting sick. So I'm not gonna end up canning it. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is the stuff that's good, I'm gonna marinate it and I'm gonna cook it, and we're gonna have it for dinners this week. But that's like $30 because I just didn't get around to the project. And this, I've debated whether or not I'm gonna leave this in, but the reason I want to is because $30 is a lot of money to my family. That's not nothing. And part of being prepared is following through when you plan on doing something. Otherwise things can expire, or they can, you can run out of time. So I'm super bummed. Truth be told, I am super, super, super bummed that I didn't get this done. Because it's money, and it was a part of our investment. But it's also a good reminder that, you know, that meat that you want to can, or those rice and beans you need to put in Mylar, do it before something happens to them. So I'm leaving this in, even though I'm embarrassed, to be honest with you, because I want to show you real life preparedness planning, and that it doesn't always go the way you want it to. I'm not Pinterest perfect. I'm not staged. It is real life, and real life is that this isn't good because I waited too many days. I meant to do it over the weekend. I meant to do it, you know, while kids were in school, and the little girls had a little cold, so they couldn't go to school Thursday or Friday, and then we were busy Saturday and Sunday, and now it's Monday and it's bad. It's a huge bummer. So the good stuff, this is the ones that are good. I am going to just bake for dinner, but these aren't good, and I'm super, super bummed about it. All right, well, I will wrap up with you in a minute. All right, so with half of the chicken that was still good, I am going to make salsa chicken for dinner. It's really easy. It's just chicken breast, crock pot, salsa, and then about 30 to 45 minutes before you serve it, you put in a big chunk of cream cheese. So that'll be fun. We'll have that with tortillas and rice, and it will be, and black beans, and it'll be sort of like a taco alternative. And then the other ones I am gonna put in my air fryer, and I'm going to cook them with just herbs and have them for lunches for the coming week. I could theoretically stick them in the food saver and freeze them. I could do that because I have the food saver out still, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I want to go ahead and use them because they would have like 24 hours before they were bad once I come out of the freezer. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use them up, and we'll just have a lot of chicken this week. One of my sons said, I don't want any more chicken, and I was like, okay, well, we'll do all these different things, and now we're gonna be having chicken because we need to use it. That's called taking lemons and making lemonade, I guess. So there's what I'm doing. All right, friends, that is my real life preparedness chores, getting it done. There are wins and there are fails. And this is what happens when you put off doing those preparedness chores. Please learn from my expensive mistake. Get your canning done, get your dehydration done, get your preps done before something expires. We all are human, we all make mistakes, and even I, who am all about the preparedness life, can make mistakes too. Comment down below and let me know what is on your list of preparedness chores for the next couple of weeks. I would love to know so I can cheer you on. Of course, you can find me over on Instagram and in the Facebook, and on Wednesdays in our Facebook group, we are shouting about all the exciting things that we're doing, about the preparedness steps we're taking, about our wins, about our losses, and where we can celebrate taking those steps towards a more prepared lifestyle. I hope that you guys are all doing well. I hope that you guys are taking care, and until the next video, happy prepping.